Hello folks, this is Coby with CobyWright.com, and I'd like to welcome you to the live training session. Tonight we're going to be talking about making money in 2012. And tonight we're doing something really cool. I know a lot of you that are watching this or that are here live, it's the first time you've ever met me. So I'm going to introduce myself in just a moment. Tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something really unique, and instead of doing a slideshow presentation where, I just pretty much tell you whatever I think you want to hear or that I think you should hear. I'm actually going to work it backwards, and you're going to tell me what you want me to talk about, okay? So I'm actually working from your questions. I've already got several questions already in the chat box. So any questions you have about making money, internet marketing, driving traffic, building your list, niche sites, any of that, any questions that you have, go ahead and put them in now. We'll be answering them in the order that I get, and of course, as we're going through them, you're going to have more and more questions. So just keep putting them in there. I'll go through the chat box, and so I got you for an hour, so I'm going to go through this really quickly, but as thoroughly as I can. So I've already seen some more people are already putting in questions. That's awesome. Thank y'all. Now, since y'all were all invited by partners of mine, Deet You Ready and Blue Swan and some other JV partners. So a lot of y'all, this is the first time that you've ever probably even heard of my name, that you've probably ever heard of Coby Wright. So let me start by introducing myself, and I'm going to show you my blog here, CobyWright.com, and just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been internet marketing for almost 2 years now. I've been full-time for a year. This is actually my anniversary. My year anniversary was just a week or two ago. So I've been full-time for a year. I was able to quit my job after only about 6 or 7 months of internet marketing seriously, and you can go and look at my Whois, and you can see that CobyWright.com is only about 2 years old. And so I registered in July of 2010, and that was when I officially became serious with internet marketing, and I was able to quit my job shortly thereafter, and it's really awesome because before I was a waiter. So if any of y'all have ever been a waiter, or you've worked in the service industry, it's not a lot of fun. The money was okay. I mean, I did okay. But as far as the tips and stuff, I was above average waiter, so I did okay on tips. But people are just rude, and it's not. It's long hours, and you're on your feet all the time, and you just have to deal with a lot of people who aren't very appreciative. So, and bosses that aren't appreciative as well. So, of course, I always knew that there was a way to make money online, and actually, it started as far back as 2004. Whenever I was only 20 years old, right out of high school, I was actually dabbling on the internet marketing, and I made some money with AdWords. Sending traffic straight to sales pages, but you can't even do that anymore. It's not even, they don't even allow that. And I was just messing around. It was just like a hobby to me. I had a decent job then. That was back when the economy was pretty good, and I had a good job, and so it was never anything. I didn't have a website or nothing. It was just something I was playing with. So I never scaled it up. But I knew that it was possible to make money online. So, in July 2010, I got serious. And I got back into it, and I started searching everywhere online and trying to, just devour as much information as I could. And I didn't really have a mentor or anybody that I followed, like just directly. I just kind of learned it all by trial and error. I consider myself to be a smart guy, and so I just did stuff that I saw others was working for others, and then I just kept doing it. And of course, in the beginning, there was a ton of overload, and I tried a bunch of things, but I finally decided I had to pick one thing and stick to it. And for me, that one thing was list building. And now I've got a list of over 60,000, and that's what was really enabled me to go full time. Whenever I went full time, I had a list of about 10,000 or so, and so that is what has enabled me to go full time, is because that is traffic. Once you have a list, you have traffic, and that's what it all comes down to, is having traffic, and of course traffic that converts. But if you can get traffic from a mailing list, it's most likely going to convert, because you have a relationship with these people, and you can market to them over and over again. And so now when I create a product, and I sell it, I get buyers. So if I have affiliates and stuff, and they promote my product, they're not building a list. So, there's a lot of different ways to build a list, and we won't get into that unless someone asks a question about it. But that's me. That's where I come from, and that's how I got started. And now what I do is I teach others. So I've got a pretty successful coaching business, as well as email marketing, and I do some niche sites and stuff as well. So enough about me. Now let's get to these questions, and let's start helping y'all make some money. Okay. All right. Let's go here and see. First one was from Lucas, and he said, "Hi Coby, I'm interested to take this internet marketing over and how to create more traffic." And then the next question was from Larry Galpin, and he said, "The best way to get free traffic." All right, cool. So I can go ahead and answer both those questions at once, and let's talk about traffic. Because as I was just saying, traffic obviously is the lifeblood of an internet marketing business. If you don't have traffic, well, you can't make sales. So obviously, for me, the best amount of free traffic is from list building. But obviously, if you don't have a list, you need traffic to build that list. So I had to throw in that part. But of course, I'm going to tell you some of my favorite ways to get traffic. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see it. Bigger still. There we go. Traffic. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and just list a couple of different ways that you can get traffic, and then I'll go through each one and in a little bit more detail. So, a couple ways you can get traffic. Video marketing, article marketing, solo ads, which is email list or your own list, social media, and let's make this font a little smaller so I can fit some more stuff on here for you. Social media, you can pay-per-click, pay-per-view, which is media buys. And now, of course, these last two aren't free, so let's take those out. And of course, solo ads aren't really free either, but if you have your own list, that is. So let me take the solo ads out part. Sorry, I forgot that Larry asked about free. Now, let's start and let's look at all of these. This is 4 areas. This is enough because this is enough to generate traffic. Oh, and let's do blog SEO. So there we go. That's probably the main ones, and these are my main ones anyways. And of course, I do a lot of paid traffic as well. But let's talk about free traffic. Video marketing. Let's start with video marketing. That's YouTube, right? Now, how are you going to get traffic from YouTube? It's easy. You do videos, right? And then you put a link in the description. Well, I'm sure most of you know how to upload a video to YouTube and stuff. And if you don't, you can go to YouTube and watch a tutorial on it. I won't show you how to do that tonight because we've only got an hour. But here's the thing with YouTube is it's actually the #2 search engine now. I may be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's #2 search engine right now. If not, it's in the top 5. The long story short is it gets a ton of traffic. Okay, I know that I get traffic from YouTube myself, and I don't really consider myself a video marketer, because I don't really push I know there's ways to get a ton of traffic from YouTube. I don't do any of that. I don't really try to rank my videos or nothing. I just put them on my blog, and send them to my subscribers. But I do pick up traffic from YouTube because I see it in my Google Analytics. Now what you do is you simply just make a short video of anything. I know that you're like, oh, Coby, I'm not an expert. I don't know how to make videos, because that's what all my students tell me. That's what people, when I coach, they tell me, Coby, I don't know what to make a video over. Guess what? You can make a video over anything, because I promise you there's somebody out there that doesn't know how to do it. Okay, it could be as simple as how to change a theme, how to upload a plugin, how to install WordPress, how to make a squeeze page, how to use FTP, anything, how to make a video, how to upload a video to YouTube, anything at all, anything. It can be 30 seconds, it can be a minute, it doesn't have to be long. In fact, the shorter the better. If you can aim for like 2 or 3 minutes, give them a quick tip, and then plug your website, you're going to get traffic. In fact, I actually recommend that you send all this traffic from anywhere to a squeeze page. And a squeeze page is a lead capture page, a page basically to where somebody opt-ins to your list, where you give them something for free to opt into your list. Okay, so if you're doing a video at YouTube, if you do a quick, one of my students recently did a video on changing, how to change a theme. And it worked perfectly, because she was like, Coby, I don't know what to do a video about. And I'm like, well, what's something that you want to learn? She was like, well, I want to change my theme on my blog. I'm like, okay, well, come here, I'll show you how to do it. So I showed her how to do it. It took like 5 minutes for me to show her how to do it, because it's a pretty simple thing, but most people don't know how to do it. So she made or a lot of people don't know how to do it, I should say. So she made a quick video of it. It took her about 3 or 4 minutes to make the video. And then maybe another 5 to 10 minutes to upload it to YouTube and put it on her blog. And there you go. Now she's got a video up at YouTube that can drive traffic back to her site. She's got a video that she can put on her blog for content. She's got a video that she can send to her subscribers, once she has them, but she does have a list now, so she can send it to her subscribers to give them value, and then she can put a link underneath it on her blog to make sales to an affiliate's product or to a related product of her own. Now, but here's the thing, YouTube is not the only site out there, okay? There's sites like Vimeo, there's one called Vidler, there's a ton of them. But I don't really mess with any of those. What I do is I go to Fiverr, which is Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com. And what I do is I will pay somebody to submit my video to, like 25 top sites, which I didn't even know there are 25, but there's gigs on there, and they submit them to 25. So now your one piece of content goes out to 25 sites. So now there's 25 places, that's 25 backlinks, that's 25 people that are looking at your stuff, that's 25 places that allow other people to pick up your content and put it on their blog, so you get free exposure. And so now that leads me right into the article marketing, because article marketing is dead. Or is it? It's not, but it's changed, okay? I recommend you still use article marketing in your traffic generation methods, but I recommend you do it in a different way. Okay, first of all, yes, still keep submitting your articles to the article directory sites. Keep doing it. Always put a link to a squeeze page. Always capture more leads. That's how you're going to get hot, fresh leads, okay? But here's what I'm doing to get hotter leads. And not a lot of people do this, or they don't know about it. Whenever I tell my students about it, I'm surprised they don't know about it, because I thought everyone knew about this. Apparently, people don't talk about it, and it's using the document sharing sites. And you're like, Coby, I don't get it. Okay, take your article and you turn it into, a PDF. It's very easy to do. If you're using, like I'm using right now, OpenOffice, there's a button right up here at the top that you just click. It says export directly as a PDF. So you just take your blog post or your article and you turn it into a PDF. You put links in there to your site. You can put banners. You can actually make them a little bit more salesy. And then you submit it to all of the document sharing sites, 5, 6, 10, as many as you can find, as many as you can handle. Okay? And when you do that, this is the document sharing sites are the new article directories. Because here's what the document sharing sites do. when you submit these to the PDF, you're allowing people who have devices like iPads and ebook readers like the Kindle. You allow people like that access to you. So now you're getting hotter, fresher leads than you would be getting otherwise. See, I'm in the IM niche, so most of the leads that get circulated in the IM niche are from like ad swaps and stuff like that. So I don't do a whole lot of ad swaps myself to build my list, but I get all my leads from like the document sharing sites, so all these other alternative sources, and it's because this gives me a whole different market. I'm getting a whole different audience that I couldn't tap into, and that a lot of marketers still aren't tapping into, because I don't know why they're not, really, to be honest with you. And it's very simple to do. You're just repurposing your content. You can actually take this video, and while you're at Fiverr, pay somebody $5 to transcribe it and turn it into a PDF. Oh, yeah, see? So you can spend $10, have your video at 25 different sites, and have a PDF of it made, okay? And then you go and spend a couple hours, maybe spend an hour submitting it to 5 or 6 document sharing sites, and then you can bookmark those, ping those, whatever you want to do. And they're not going to get a lot of views, okay? They're not going to get a ton of views, but you might get 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 views a day, okay? So if you're getting, let's say you get 1 view a day from each PDF site. So if you submit to 5, you're getting 5 views a day. Let's say you get, okay, let's stick with that, 5 views a day per PDF. Okay, so that's 35 views a week. That would be 140 views a month for 1 PDF. Okay, if you're seeing that traffic to a squeeze page, most squeeze pages are going to convert at about 50%. So that would be 70 people per month on your list per PDF. Now do you see why I was able to build a list of 60,000 so quickly? So that if you can do that every single day, if you put out an article to these, and that's not, and then let's take into account the traffic you're getting from the video marketing, from your video and from your articles. Let's say the same thing there. If you're getting 1 view per day, 1 view per day for 25 video sites, wow. And you're probably going to submit to 5 article sites. So there you go. You're getting 140 views a month on your articles, 140 views a month on your documents at the PDF sites, the document sharing sites, and 25 views a day on your videos, okay? Now, of course, I know that all those numbers are kind of skewed, and that's, it's hard to say how many you're going to get, but I'm just trying to tell you what the numbers are. And then once you start building up those, of course, you send all of that traffic to a squeeze page, and you're going to build your own list. And then you can use your own list for traffic. And this is, of course, the best source of traffic. And this is my favorite source, of course. That's why I always send all my traffic to a squeeze page. Because when I send traffic to a squeeze page and I get them on my list, not only can I market to them today, I can market to them tomorrow, I can market to them next week, and here's the thing, I can show them an offer as soon as they opt in. So I can still make money off of them that same day. And I know all of you have seen these. You're here on my list. I'm sorry, you got here because you got an email from somebody. I'm sure that there's been a point where you were sent to a squeeze page, and after you opted in, you've seen a sales page, right? It's happened to all of us. So you can do that, and then you can still build a relationship with them and show them more products. And maybe they won't buy that day because they don't have a relationship with you, or they didn't like that product. So you keep, send them emails, giving them good stuff like webinars like this, and videos, and just helping them with their business. But you also market to them, and maybe they'll buy the next thing you show them. Maybe the next offer that you show them will be more suited to them. Okay. So of course, list building is always what I tell everyone to focus on. That was what I focused on and what allowed me to go full time. Now, social media gets a lot of buzz, especially Facebook these days. Facebook gets a lot of attention. And I personally don't do a lot of stuff on Facebook. I guess it's because I just never really got into it. I've got a Facebook profile, and I used to have a fan page, but I had a profile that got banned because they said I was using a fake name, which I was using my real name, Coby Wright. That's the only name I have, so all it takes is somebody reporting you as spam to get it blocked. And I wasn't spamming anybody or nothing. I just had my, like some real friends and a couple of fellow marketers and maybe some people that were on my list. But my account ended up getting shut down. So I had like 300 friends and like 1,000. I had a fan page with 1,000 people on it. So those got shut down. Luckily, I wasn't doing a lot on Facebook, and so that didn't even affect me at all. But that's why I don't put a lot of emphasis on social media, is because that could happen. If my income was solely focused on Facebook, then whenever my account got shut down, I would have been, up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. So I don't put a lot of I don't put a lot of emphasis on social media in my business, although I do feel that it's important, and I do feel that you should do it. So I do have accounts at Twitter. I do have a Facebook account now. I set up a new one under my name, Coby Wright. So I hope they don't find it and shut me down again. But so you can find me on there if you want to add me. But I don't really market a lot from Facebook. But I do use it to get exposure for my brand, exposure for myself, and I do recommend that you do the same. I always tweet every article that I write, that I put, every blog post that I do. I tweet whenever I submit them to the document sharing sites, I will tweet them. A lot of article directories allow you to tweet them after you submit them, so I tweet all that. I tweet everything, and I'll add to my Facebook sometimes. But usually on Facebook, I'll just do videos that I put on my blog and, occasional blog posts and stuff, because I don't really want to market too hard on Facebook. I just kind of want, I don't, because I have marketing, I have friends on there that are marketers. And so, it's kind of dumb to be marketing to my friends who are also marketers. So, I'm not trying to look spammy and stuff. So anytime I have like a really cool video or something, I'll put it on there. So, but I do recommend that you use it. And I know that you can use it to build a good business, but just make sure that you do remember that it's a third-party service, and that your business, that they could shut you down at any day. And then that leads to blogging and SEO traffic. Blogging is something that I don't really consider myself a blogger, but I really am a blogger, I guess, because I send most of my readers, my subscribers, to my blog. I'm kind of a video blogger these days. In the early days when I was first getting started, I did a lot of blog posts, because what I would do is all these articles that you're going to be writing, all these videos you're going to be writing, videos that you're going to be making and turning into transcripts that you turn into PDFs, put it on your blog, okay, and bookmark it and all that. So in that sense of the term, I am a blogger, because I am blogging, but I'm not like, I don't know how to explain it. But so I guess really I am a blogger. I just need to admit it. Coby as a blogger. There we go. Let's admit it. But really the key is you're building an asset when you put it on your own blog. And when I was skimming the questions, I saw someone asked about sites like Weebly versus your own hosted WordPress. I do recommend that you have your own hosted blog as soon as you can, as soon as that it's feasible for you. I recommend that you do. Now, it is not a problem at all starting out with sites like Weebly and Blogspot, bloggers, blogger.com, because it's still an asset, even though it's a third-party asset. They can take it away from you at any time. It is still an asset. So, and it does still have value. And in fact, I use sites like Weebly and blogger.com or Blogspot. What is it? They're Blogspot blogs, but they're at blogger.com. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I use those as kind of like satellites. So kind of like little mini sites. So that's another thing that you can do once you start getting more advanced and you start getting used to writing these articles and stuff, is you can take it again, you can and put it on sites like Weebly and Blogspot and point it back to your blog, point it back to a squeeze page, and then you're getting backlinks, and you're also going to be building your list and getting more traffic as well. So it's kind of like a big traffic circle. And of course that leads to SEO. Now, people always ask, Coby, how do I get my sites ranked? How do I get my sites ranked? And I say, I'm not an SEO expert, but here's what I do. and here's what works for me, and that's social bookmarking and pinging. Social bookmarking and RSS feeds, and of course pinging as always. So you can do that at stuff like bulkping.com. You can ping there, you can create an RSS feed. Social bookmarking, I use socialmonkey.com. So really, there's a ton of social bookmarking sites out there. What I will do is first, I write a blog post. I put it on my blog. Okay? I write an article. I'll put it on my blog. And then I take it and I submit it to all the article directory sites. eZine article, Go articles. I only submit it to 3 article directory sites. Go article, eZine articles, and then there's a couple other 3 that I rotate for the 3rd one. Okay? And then I turn it into a PDF, and then I submit it to the document sharing sites. And of course, I can either, if you wrote a blog post, well, then you can take it and turn that into a video. So you can actually make a PowerPoint presentation out of it, or an open office presentation, and then make a video that way. Or, you know, if you're like me, where these days I'll make the video first, then you can do it that way and get a transcription. So you can work that either way. But after I do that, I submit to all the document sharing sites, is bookmark all those links that I did, all the submissions that I made, all the document sharing sites, all the submissions at the article directories, and of course my blog. And then if I do any videos, YouTube, whatever, I'll backlink all those as well, you know, or social bookmark those as well. And then you take your social bookmarking URLs and you create an RSS feed with them. And then you submit the RSS feed to all of the RSS feed directories. And then that just kind of gets all your content indexed, and then it starts getting you traffic. It's not a lot either, but it's just a little something, and it builds backlinks. So that was my quick little 20-minute spew on traffic. I'm sure that's spurred a lot more questions, because I see the question thing over here has been flashing for a long time. So I'm going to look at those and see what more questions have come up. And I hope that so far you're getting a lot of value out of this. Go up and see. Next one, Martin said, how did you get started? How can anyone start making money online, and what is needed to start? Okay, how did I start? I think I told you that in the beginning, just to make sure. Let's see, how to start. I started by really a bunch of trial and error. So that wasn't the best way to do it, but it helped me to really see that I needed to focus on something, and that was the key, was not focusing. And so I decided that I was going to pick a list building and stick with it, and that's what I did. I started building a list, and I didn't stop. Okay, because I knew that once I had a list, I could send traffic anywhere and make money, at least in theory. For the most part, it's true. So how I got started was I started by building a site, and it was terrible, okay, and it was crap, and it took me 6 months to really figure out what I need to start doing. So I'm not even going to talk about the first 6 months, or I guess it took me about 3 months really of doing all kinds of stuff before I really got focused. So once I got focused, here's what I did. I set up a WordPress blog. I already had a website, okay, and I recommend that you put it in your name. Or whatever you wish to brand. Your name is always best to brand if you plan on doing this long time. But if you're in a different niche, or you want to brand a company, that's okay too. But so I set up a WordPress blog, branded CobyWright.com, and I started trying to drive traffic to it. So I set up a WordPress blog, and I set up a squeeze page, which I told you was for capturing leads. So I set up a WordPress blog, and I set up a squeeze page. Now, what I knew that I would have a hard time ranking a squeeze page. And even though I didn't know anything about ranking, I knew that if I could get enough backlinks, or I mean back up. Still to this day, I don't ever plan on being ranked for any major make money online terms, any major internet marketing keywords. So I don't ever plan on that. So I knew from the beginning that since internet marketing was such a competitive niche, that I needed to focus on getting my traffic from other sources, such as the ones I just told you about. So I never really focused on trying to learn SEO, and I still don't know, other than what I just, the little technique I just told you about the RSS and the pingbacks and stuff. So what I did is I knew, though, that if I could get traffic to my blog or to a squeeze page, I could build a list and I could, use that, leverage that to make more money. So that's exactly what I did. I started blogging, and I did just like I told you. In the last step, I would write an article, and then I would put it on my blog, and then I would bookmark it, and then I would go to the article directory site, submit it there, bookmark it, go to the next one, submit it there, bookmark it, go to the next one, and then turn it into a PDF and do that. And that's all I did every single day. I made a checklist. I made a checklist of all the sites that I was going to submit it to as a PDF and all that. And I made a daily list, and I went through it every day, and I made sure that I tried every day to do every single thing on that list as far as getting my content out there and just getting people to know about me to get traffic out there. And I would always link to a squeeze page in the beginning. Now I link to paid products and stuff as well, but in the beginning I always linked to a squeeze page, okay, so that I could build my list. Now, what do you need to get started? Well, what do you need? Pretty good question, right? Well, duh, that's why I asked it, Coby. Well, you're going to need a domain name. Oops. Domain name. And I use Namecheap because they are the most internet marketing friendly. You're going to need hosting. I use HostGator because they were the first one I used, and they were awesome. They're very affordable. They have great customer service. If you don't know how to set up hosting, I actually have a free software tool that will help you do it. You can download that at cobywright.com/hosting. It's a direct download. As soon as you type it in, it'll bring up a zip file. You need a domain name, you need hosting, and you need an autoresponder. I use Aweber, and I use Imnica, and I use Constant Contact. www.gocoby.com/Aweber. Man, that's long. Aweber, Imnica, cobywright.com/Imnica, and Constant Contact. I told you that I had over 60,000 subscribers, and so that's why I have 3 autoresponders. I actually use one more autoresponder, but I'm not going to recommend it to you because I don't like it that much. You can use any of these 3, and they're going to do pretty much what you want. And Constant Contact is at gocoby.com/cc. That'll actually give you a discount, like a $30 discount or something, I believe, if you use that at Constant Contact. Imnica Mail and Aweber, they'll both allow you to start with for $1. Aweber is kind of supposed to be the industry leader. They've been around for over 10 years. I like Aweber. They work okay. There's some things I don't like about Aweber. Imnica is really great. They've only been around for, a little over 2 years now. I've been using them for over a year. They're very, very affordable. They're about a fourth the price of Aweber. I actually have over 20,000 subscribers at Imnica, and I pay less than I pay for having 7,000 subscribers at Aweber. So they're really affordable. They're great for beginners. They got some features that Aweber doesn't have. their deliverability uh, is sometimes an issue. They have really good deliverability at Aweber and I'm sorry, at Imnica has really good deliverability at Yahoo and at AOL, actually a little bit better than Aweber's, but the deliverability at Gmail is not as good at Aweber. So, there you go. Take that for what it's worth. But for the price, I think Imnica Mail is the best value around right now. Of course, Constant Contact, I can't say anything bad about them except that their web forms are kind of funny. If their web forms were better, then that would probably be the one that I used more than any of them, because I like their layout and stuff, and it's easy to use, and their deliverability is good at Constant Contact. And they're about the same price as Aweber. So that's pretty much all you need to really get started. And an autoresponder, of course, is optional, but I recommend that you don't do anything without building a list. In the beginning, it's kind of expensive, but it's an investment, and you definitely need to do it. I tell a lot of my students that are on a budget to start with Imnica, because you can get $1,000. I'm sorry, excuse me. You can get an account, an unlimited account, where you can send unlimited emails. And you can use single opt-in at Imnica for up to 1,000 subscribers for only $3 a month, and you can get the first month for $1. So that's really affordable when you're on a budget. I suggest you start with Imnica, because that's what I did. I started with Aweber, and they were too expensive for me, and I wasn't making enough money in the beginning because, like I said, I was running around doing all kinds of crazy stuff, not being focused. So I started using Imnica, and then once I got up a pretty good amount at Imnica, I decided to start spreading my eggs around, and I started using Aweber again, and I started using Constant Contact as well. So you need a domain name, you need hosting, you need an autoresponder. It's pretty much all you need to get started making money online, and that's once you get those up, you get a blog, you get your squeeze page, and you should be ready to start rocking. Just start generating that traffic. So let's go and we look at the questions. And let's see here. Sorry, I closed them on accident. Here we go. Martin asked, how do you take advantage of social media such as Twitter? Like I mentioned earlier, what I use Twitter for is to kind of I tweet all of my articles, I tweet all my videos that I make, so I don't really try to sell from Twitter. Very rarely will I send just a straight affiliate link from Twitter. I usually use articles, blog posts, stuff like that. So that's how I take advantage of Twitter. Of course, I put it on my blog, and underneath all my posts, I use plugins that do that stuff for me, and so that other people can tweet my stuff if they like it. So that's how I use it. I use it to kind of build a brand, to kind of get exposure for myself. I don't really do a lot of the techniques that people use to get followers on Twitter. I just kind of let them come naturally. So even though I've had a Twitter account for like pretty much almost 2 years now since I started or whatever, I've only got about 1,700 followers, and that's just people I picked up on my blog and stuff, because I really don't even tell people about it because I forget about Twitter. But, if you want to follow me on Twitter, here's my Twitter, at Coby Wright. So that's me. I always forget to tell people that. Or however Twitter works. Honestly, I don't even really know how to work with Twitter, because that's all I do is I just tweet my articles and stuff. So I'm not really a Twitter or a social media expert, but that's how I use it. See, Lucas said, I'm tired of working with dead leads. I'm looking for the hot ones. Yeah, Lucas, I think I covered that, or at least how I do that, using the document sharing sites and stuff, so that's cool. Frank Clark said, is building a blog through a site like Weebly as good as WordPress? Oh yeah, I forgot I covered that one also, because I'd seen that question. So they do have their value, but I always say that anything that you can host on your own server, is much more valuable because you own it and no one else can control it. But I do use Weebly, and I recommend Weebly. They are great. Lucas asks, let's see. Oh wait, he's just telling me what business is. Lucas, Lucas said, I don't really want to say your niches out loud. So I assume you're doing a lot of offline stuff. I think that if you take advantage, Lucas, of using the PDF and the document sharings and the videos like I was talking about, I think that could really help you get some more fresh, hot leads. I think that'll help you a lot because I think that those niches that you mentioned, since you're doing more offline stuff, I think it works better for offline stuff because they're not as used to seeing that as much. Frank said, starting out is best to start with a membership site with monthly renewals and learn PLR and put up a blog. Yeah, that's another great thing, Frank. That's a good, great thing. A lot of people don't do in the beginning, and it took me a long time to start doing it, and I still don't utilize it to its full value. It took me a long time to get up membership sites. And I still don't use it to this full value, but I do have monthly payments coming in, and that's a great thing. You can both promoting them as an affiliate and starting them on your own. In the beginning, if you can't, be hassled to start one on your own, or you just are like me and you're kind of a half tech tard, as I call myself, then you can promote one as an affiliate. And so if you're building your list, I'm suggesting, you're seeing all your traffic to a squeeze page, then you can occasionally send out an email and recommend it. And a lot of membership sites will allow like a free membership, and then there's an upgrade to a paid membership. So it's easy to get signups. So it's easy to market to your list. You don't have to feel like you're pushing them to join something because, hey, here, this is free. You want to get some free PLR or something? Here, check this out. I do that myself. So yeah, that's a great way. If you can buckle down and focus and say, I'm going to dedicate the next 3 months or the next month. You could probably do it in a month. I guarantee you could do it in a month if you focused on it and worked on it every day and say, I'm going to do nothing but build this membership site for the next 30 days, nothing else, because that is the number one thing that keeps people from failing at membership sites is they get overwhelmed and they start getting members, but they're not ready for the content. Okay, I recommend that if you're going to do it on a month-to-month basis or week-to-week basis or whatever, that you get at least 3 months ahead, because once you start getting members, you're going to start getting other issues that pop up that you didn't think about. Okay, like they're going to have issues with logins, and you're going to have issues with whatever you're using for your membership software, that you just have to work it out. And you're going to be kind of get overwhelmed if you have to do all that, plus you have to create content for them within a few days, so I recommend that you do that. Or if you have the budget, just go and pay someone to do it for you. And then all you have to do is worry about driving the traffic to it, and then getting the recurring income. Frank mentioned using learn PLR and put up a blog, and I think what he means is to learn how to sell PLR, how to make PLR, and make a PLR membership, which is everyone wants PLR. So those are really easy. It's a really easy sell. So then essentially you can just kind of buy up all the other PLR, and the ones that allow you to redistribute it, you can. So that is a great tip. Thanks, Frank, for that. Lucas said, also, do you know how to create traffic to an existing website? And then he said, oh, I'm not going to say what. Again, it's an offline business. Yeah, Lucas, I think the methods with the videos and the PDFs and stuff will work really great for those niches that you're in. Really great. And also, I do know that I can create traffic, but it's very expensive. $3,000 to sign up. Oh yeah. Don't pay any of the SEO services out there that give you those quotes like that, Lucas, because I think that's probably what you're talking about, is an SEO service for that amount of money, which is for those of you who obviously don't know what he told me, he said $3,000 a month. Don't pay that. Don't pay that, because you can outsource it yourself for a whole lot cheaper. And it's not, I really don't know what they could do that you couldn't do, and that I can't do. And what I would do is what I just told you at the beginning. That's how I would get your site ranked. If you were to pay me to get your site ranked, that's what I would do, which I don't do that. But if someone held a gun to my head and said, here, Coby, you got to rank this site, that's what I would do. I don't usually deal with high competitive keywords when I'm trying to rank stuff, but that's what I would do, is I would use the video marketing and use all that stuff that I said in conjunction with social bookmarks. Social bookmarks are so powerful. Social bookmarks and RSS feeds are so powerful, And I really don't understand the whole RSS feed thing, so don't worry if it's like foreign to you. I just know that when I create RSS feeds and submit them to the RSS feed directories, that my rankings go up. People say that you get traffic from it. People say that, you get, I don't know. I just know that my rankings go up. So it obviously, whatever it does is great. I don't fully understand it. I just know that it works. That's what's cool about making money online and doing internet marketing is you don't have to fully understand everything. You have to fully understand. You just have to know that if you do it one way, it works. Because, I can build, I'm decent at HTML. I can build a squeeze page. That's about as far as my HTML goes. But yeah, I don't really fully know HTML, but I can, if I'm designing something or I'm dealing with a new page, I can look at it and kind of figure it out because I've done it enough that I can say, well, I don't know what this is called, but I know if I do it this way, it'll work. So let's see. Uh, and Frank said, "What's your view on CPA marketing for beginners?" Man, Frank, to be honest with you, I've never ever even tried CPA. And the reason I didn't or I haven't is because, when you're beginning, you hear about it a lot. You hear about it all the time. CPA and CPA. And CPA, I've got friends that they make good money doing CPA, but the reason I didn't ever do it is because I applied for like one or two networks or something and got turned down. And, so then I applied for a couple more and got turned down. So maybe a handful that I applied for and got turned down. Of course, now I know why I got turned down is because I didn't have my website wasn't very attractive. It was kind of crappy looking, and I didn't really know what to tell them when they asked me how am I going to drive traffic and stuff. And so, but CPA is great if for a beginner because I know a lot of people have made their first dollar using CPA. But I personally couldn't tell you the best way to do it, or the how to do it. But my view is if you're going to do it, then oh sorry, I had to grab a drink. If you're going to try CPA, is grab a good CPA course and follow it to the letter. Tim Atkinson has some good stuff on CPA that I've seen, and it seemed doable. So if you can find a good network, but here's what it takes to get approved. And I know this now, and haven't been bothered to try CPA. But if you want to get approved, make sure that your website looks good. Have up a good blog or whatever, and then uh, whenever you fill out your application, put the link to your blog, and whenever they ask how you're going to promote it, tell them you're going to promote it through pay-per-click and through blog marketing. And so, and then after you submit your application, the best thing to do is to call them, or at the very least, answer the phone when they call you. So if you answer the phone when they call you, they're going to ask you, they basically just want to make sure that you're not going to be scamming them or be doing anything shady. So once you get approved, then it's great, and I guess after that, you just drive traffic, right? So that's my take on CPA. Lucas said, the company I'm referring to guarantees they can create a ton of traffic to your site. They have a special software. They would probably be using the software then to do what? I don't know. I'm very leery about paying anyone that says they will do. I don't pay anyone for SEO at all. I'll just say that. So when it comes to traffic, I do exactly what I told y'all. And so that's all I do when it comes to traffic, and I don't really buy into any softwares. I don't use any because most of the ones that people use are like SE Nuke, and it's stuff that does like blog comments and a lot of stuff that's kind of spammy. Now there are some softwares that do work, like Andy Fletcher has one called Digi Traffic Accelerator, and let me actually put that link in here, because that is actually a really good one. And what it does is it's a bookmarking tool. That's at gocoby.com/DTA, I think. Put it in the chat box here. And so unless they have a software that does bookmarking and pings it and all that stuff for you, I wouldn't really mess with it. I wouldn't really worry about it because you can go to Odesk and you can pay a guy, or pay a team of people per hour, and just give them the outline of what that I just gave you, and tell them this is what I want you to do. I'm going to give them the articles, write them yourself, or go to something like iWriter.com, www.I, the letter I, and then writer.com, and outsource your articles there, and then take them to your SEO guy that you're paying, you know, $2 an hour and paying for 3 hours of work each day. Do it through odesk.com so that take screenshots and have him take those articles and put them on your blog, turn them into videos and do all that stuff, and and you'll get off way cheaper, and you'll get probably a lot better quality traffic doing it that way. I wouldn't, of course, I don't do too much offline, so I don't know exactly how that goes as far as ranking. All the stuff that I do offline as far as traffic and ranking is really really simple because the keywords are really really easy. So uh, my technique to offline ranking is even half of what I told you earlier. I really just use bookmarks and RSS feeds, and normally one good run at Social Monkey will get my offline keywords ranked. Norris Pope's got his hand raised. You got a question, buddy? Just go ahead and put it in the chat. Or you might have, and I may just miss it. Let me look over at the question. Sorry. But we're nearing on our hour. It looks like y'all have run out of questions because I don't really see any new ones in here. Yeah, Lucas said the business is dead because of no traffic. I would go to Odesk and hire somebody for just a few bucks. And I don't have time to talk about outsourcing, but there's a lot of good courses out there that will teach you about outsourcing. But it's really simple. At odesk.com, you can hire them by the hour, and you can look for people. You can literally, I know it sounds silly, but you can literally pay somebody like $3 a week because they're paid by the hour, and then it records their screen while they're working. So, and it takes screenshots. You can tell that they're actually working. And literally, I think that they can do a lot of stuff for you at $3 at 3 hours a day. They can get a lot of submissions done. So that would be, if they work 5 days a week, that'd be 15 bucks. Okay, I was paying a guy to do that. I was paying a guy $100 a week to do that because that's how important it is to me. And then actually I had to let him go because I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up with him because I wanted to make sure that all the articles were written by me. So I couldn't keep up with him. And actually, I recommended him to a friend, and one of my friends started using him, but I couldn't keep up. And that was before I learned about Odesk. And so now, if I need it done, I would just go back to Odesk and hire someone to do the same thing. Or I could hire 3 different people. I could hire one person to be doing the PDF sites, so they'd be working like maybe an hour a day. Have one person creating your RSS feeds for you, so they might be working 1 hour a day, and you can literally pay them $1 to $3 an hour, and they're happy, you're happy, and the reason they can only work 1 or 2 hours a day for you is because they're working for several people. So if they're working for 10 different people, they can. It's no big deal to work for 30 minutes or an hour for you, and because they got plenty of people, they just go and work for you and get their job done, and they go over here and work for this guy and get their job done, and then they go over here and work for this one, and there's a lot of people that are able to generate a ton of traffic doing that. And able to save a lot of money on outsourcing. So we got someone else have a question. Norris's hand is still up. But if you got a question, because I don't know about look, you're very welcome, Lucas. Okay, we're nearing our hour here, so I just want to make sure, did everyone think that I gave you some good value? Was it worth showing up? Did I get your questions answered for the most part as best as I could in such a short amount of time? Awesome, awesome. Okay, yes, yes, thanks again. Blue said, of course, buddy. Larry said, thank you so much. You helped a lot. I received a lot of value. Awesome. Larry said, very helpful. Excellent, excellent. I'm so glad I could help. And I did something really unique today. I probably hadn't been on a webinar like this before. So I wanted to really cap it off and do something really unique as well. I know a lot of times when y'all show up to these, they always give you an offer at the end, right? And I always like to to ask first, make sure I gave you value. And if they don't say that I gave them enough value, then I don't even bother with an offer. So then y'all tell me that I did give you value. I'm gonna do something cool. And a lot of times, whenever you at the end of these webinars, you get pitched for a product, right? And it's normally $97 or $297 or or something, you know, and you're like, man, that's such a great offer, but I just don't have $300 today. I don't have $500 today. I don't have $1,000 today. Sometimes you'll get on the webinar and it's like $47 and you're like, oh, cool. I can buy this, or maybe 27. You're like, sweet. Well, I wrestled with what I was going to do today, and I just finally decided that I was going to do something really cool. I've never done this before, and I wanted to actually make you an offer, but I'm not going to make you an insane offer. I'm going to make you, or I'm going to make you an insane offer, but it's going to be because it's so cheap. Now, I got a product that I did with Aditya, who was one of the people that recommended y'all here today, and it's called the Guru Hijack. And this is a Warrior special offer. If y'all don't know about the Warrior Forum, it's at warriorforum.com. It's a forum dedicated to internet marketers, and this is where a lot of my business is based from. But I've put together a video series. It's 7 videos, and it shows you a really sneaky tactic on how you can actually build your list and also take advantage of gurus, of all the big ClickBank launches and stuff that are going on. And let me put the link in here. It's at www.gocoby.com/hijack. That's the short link, because the forum link would be huge. There's that. And you can see it's $9.90. Let me go down here and show you what you get, because you get a lot of cool stuff, and then I'll answer any questions you have about it. And I'm going to tell you about the one-time offer, because that's where the real value is in the one-time offer that is after you purchase this. So let me go through and tell you what it's about. Let's look at some of the feedback as I'm going through. John Racine, you can see here, he said, Guru Hijack is a concept that is so easy to do. It could create cash very quickly if you take action. It is a simple read with action steps in it, very easy to follow and very easy to profit with. I wish I had thought of this myself. Great job, and the resource list is huge and is valuable by itself. Pair it with Guru Hijack and you have a powerful tandem. Great job. Do not hesitate to get Guru Hijack, and I'm putting the steps in action for myself now. Okay, you can see there's several more. I'm not going to read all these to you. They're all similar. That's just a couple more. I've got several more sprinkled out through here. I'll show you. The sales page says, here's a few reasons you should buy the Guru. You should hijack the gurus. They have enough money already. If you don't believe me, you can just ask them. We all see their crazy sales videos. They don't care about you, but they care about the money. They already have a fancy car. Again, that brings us back to the sales videos. Well, I'm not going to read this whole sales page to you. Let's get over here to what you get, because the sales page doesn't really tell you a whole lot of what you're getting, or as far as what the strategy is, because it's so simple. But it's basically spying. I'm going to teach you to find out what's working for the gurus and the super affiliates, and how you can turn the tables, use their hard work to start pouring commissions into your account instead of theirs. So here's what you get. You get the 8 step-by-step videos, which is the Guru Hijack video series, a $197 value. You get the Guru Hijack audio series, which is the MP3 recordings of all the videos, valued at $97. You get 2 PDFs. You get the transcription. Or, I'm sorry, it's not a transcription. It's actually a handwritten version of by me of the strategy. Plus, I give you a second PDF that gives you a resource guide where you can actually buy traffic to make this work. And then I also give you a high converting squeeze page. You can see right here it's converting at 78.4% for me. And then, of course, you get a bonus software that you can use to make Kindle books. So the total value is $785. You get instant access to everything for only $9.90. And that's if you use the link that I put in the chat box, gocoby.com/hijack. And you can see here's more testimonials. Desmond11 says, here's a quick review. Like most of Coby's products, he gets straight to the point, which is what I like. He provides a 15-page PDF with the strategy laid out. He also provides you with a series of 7 videos and the auto recordings of those videos. I actually give 8 videos, but one of the videos is like it technically is 7 videos because there's a part A and a part B on one of them, because one's for Aweber and one's for Indica. It says, anyways, back to the testimonial. This is a newbie friendly and can be put into action almost immediately. You don't need any skills. You don't need to be a pro. You just need to follow the step-by-step instructions that Coby has provided. Hence the reason why I love his products. It's simple, easy to implement, and you don't need lots of money to get this started. Hope this helps some of those that were on the fence. Desmond, he's really right. He's bought several of my products. He's great. You can see there's more testimonials here. I won't read them all to you. And it says, why are we selling this for so little? Are you all insane? And for those of you who don't know about the Warrior Forum, in order to put out a Warrior Special offer, it literally has to be that. It can't be available anywhere else for a lower price. And this isn't available anywhere else. This is only available on the Warrior Forum because we created just for the Warrior Forum. And of course, because we're going to put it at the Warrior Forum and then test it out, and that's when we make a lot of sales. We get all y'all's feedback. Then we take it to ClickBank and we sell it for more, right? So you can see here, this is all you get. You get the full video series, you get the full audio series, the complete PDF, the solo sellers PDF, the bonus sales funnel, and of course the bonus software. Again, it's $9.90. There's more testimonials. There's me, there's Aditya. And of course, you're covered by 100% money back guarantee. And there's more testimonials. You can see people are loving this. It's $9.90. The really cool thing is, if you purchase this, the one-time offer is a mastermind group, and it's only $17. So for $27, you can get into a mastermind group with me, with Aditya, with a lot of the solo ad sellers that are listed in the PDF, and all the other people that have already purchased this, and all the people that will purchase it in the future. So for $27, you get access to where you can ask questions 24 hours a day, and get access to me, get access to Aditya, get access to all these other people, so that when we're not around, they can help you, and you can help them. You can do network with them, JV opportunities, a ton of opportunities. It's a one-time fee. It's not a $17 recurring fee. It's only a one-time fee. So I'll show you the one-time offer sales page so you can see what it looks like. But it's just a video of me telling you what I just told you. I can't spell apparently. Apparently I can't spell, or I don't know what the page is. Let me make sure the site's up first. Okay, yeah, the site is up. Does that work? Nope. Anyways, I guess the OTO page is protected. I guess I've done a good job of protecting it. But on the OTO page, all there is just a video of me explaining to you that there's a mastermind group. So this is probably the first time I've ever been on a webinar and got pitched a product that was under $10 at the end. But I wanted to, all of y'all, this is the first time that y'all met me. You know, most of y'all probably do not know me. You probably never heard of me before. So I want to make this first experience a really good one. I didn't want to try to pitch you on a $97 product the first time you ever met me. So, and if you can't pick up the product, it's no big deal. You know, I hope you got a ton of value from just what you saw today. Nora said my question is the answer. Frank said, very good webinar and thanks for the tips. Awesome. Awesome, cool. So there you go. If y'all want to pick up the special offer, the Guru Hijack, which I didn't even mention, this also got, if any of y'all have heard of JV Zoo, it's a new, fairly new payment processor affiliate program. And this got picked as JV Zoo's top pick of the day. So this is kind of like WSO of the day, but not quite as prolific, but it's still a very big honor. This means that we were picked as the best product for that day that was submitted at JVZoo, and we got a lot of exposure from that. I'm going to, for those of you who don't know about JVZoo, I'll put the link in here for those of you who want to sign up as an affiliate or want to maybe put a product there. So that's all I got for y'all tonight. If you had any more questions, you want to know anything about the Guru Hijack product or anything, let me know. If not, then we can call the knot, and I will get this. I'll start working on the replay, and I'll send that out to y'all probably tomorrow. So if that's all you got, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll follow up just a few more minutes if there's any more questions. For those of you who are watching the replay, if you want to pick up the Guru Hijack, go to www.gocoby.com/hijack. And remember, the real value is in the one-time offer, which is only 17 bucks, which is the exclusive mastermind. So $10 for the front-end product, $17 for the back-end product. And either way, I think you're really going to enjoy it. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for seeing through this. This is Coby from CobyWright.com, signing off.